Okay, I'm back again, reading from the book of Acts today about what Peter went through and how God is an avenger, no matter what. You know, a lot of people in this world, a lot of people who hate Christians, they think they hurt us by killing us. But you only help us because we know that whether we live or die, we're going to live for Christ or with Christ upon the resurrection. You know, us as Christians, we are supposed to get to a point where we do not fear death. How do you know that? Scripture says, do not fear man or fear those that can destroy the body, but fear him that can destroy both body and soul in hell. You understand? We're not designed to have the spirit of fear to fear. Because once you got to realize something, just like joining the Marines. A kid I grew up with named Alex. I remember when I remember him when he was younger, he wanted to join the Marines, and here it is years later, he finally get in. You know, he knew that becoming a Marine was something he wanted to do. And he knew it was not going to be an easy task, but he stayed at it and he finished it. You see, we don't become Christians because we know it's going to be easy. We become Christians because we know that God is with us. And we want to lead other people to Christ. And if we got to suffer for Christ and lead other people to Christ, that's what we're going to do. We didn't sign up for this job because of fame and fortune. We signed up for this because we joined a battle. Years ago, when I first became a Christian, I was sleeping and I had a dream, and it felt like a vision. And in the dream, God was building the army and the enemy was building his army. He picked me to be a part of it. And I remember in the dream, this is something that stuck with me, that the part that stuck with me the most. The followers of Christ, the followers who God chose, they were fighting in hell against the enemy. Like it felt like a movie. But the crazy thing about it is, some of them changed sides in the dream. Some of them switched from fighting for God and fighting for the devil. What did I get out of that? Many are called, few are chosen. You understand? That's what I got. I don't know, I'm supposed to got something else out of it, but that's what I got. Some people are not going to want the suffering and the pain that comes with being the Christian. They want to live that pleasant worldly life. And they forget what their purpose was. You see, in the dream, it was a spiritual war, but it was like in the physical, but I got the message. Stay the course. You understand? Stay the course, no matter what. Peter said if some people that were with us and they came out with us, well, I can tell you right now that they are enemies of the cross. Why are they enemies of the cross? They turn to the dark side. I love to bring up Star Wars. Movies like that have good messages. You see, Anakin Skywalker was a prodigy. Somebody they knew they're going to be real strong. And at the same time, guess who knew the enemy knew? The Sith and the Jedi. They knew that Anakin would be a strong warrior. But he had a little darkness in him. You would see a little spurts of it come out here and there. And he could have did so much for the good side. But instead, he chose to join the dark side. And use his power for evil rather than good. And that's exactly how your warfare goes as a Christian. You know, the Bible has a few scary terms in there. And one of the scariest terms that I always talk about is when Jesus said, many will come to me on that fateful day and say, Lord, Lord, Try to name off all the things they've done for the Lord in his name. And the Lord is going to be like, depart from you, I never knew you. Depart from me, that you that work iniquity. You see, if you read the Bible, you'll understand there's a difference between how Christians are today and how Christians were back then. And the thing is, it should be the same. How many sermons you read from Paul, Peter, or any of the apostles saying, today you're going to be blessed. This year is going to be your year of prosperity. This is your seasonal year this year. You didn't really see too many of those type of sermons. You didn't even see that type of sermon with the Lord. The sermon about one of the to me, the most powerful sermon in the Bible from Jesus Christ himself did not involve material gain at all. None of it. The longest sermon Jesus preached did not involve anything about material gain. Why do you think people left off following Christ? From thousands of disciples to 11. I touched base on this the other day. Why do you think that happened? Because most people love the world more than they love Christ. They love Christ. They love the world more. That's why Christ is like, you cannot serve God and mammon. I love to bring up who that was. Jeremiah, choose now for who you may serve. Oh no, it wasn't Jeremiah. It was either Jeremiah or Joshua. One of them. One of the J's. As for me and my house, we would serve the Lord. Choose now whom you may serve. Choose now. Why did God always want you to make an opportunity, a chance right now to serve him? Because tomorrow is not promised to you. Do you understand? Death is always, we are living, waiting to go to sleep. The whole day is like someone from the moment we come out of our mother's womb, we are waiting to go to sleep. Once you live, there's only one other option after that. Death. And where you wake up to after death depends on you. And you giving yourself over to Christ. Stephen grasped this concept. That's why they said Stephen reached up and gave honor to Jesus Christ before his death. And the heavens opened. I don't know if the person who wrote it saw it, but they knew that Stephen was ready to be with the Lord. Am I saying he went to the Lord right then? I don't know. But I know he went to sleep. And he know, and the Bible said the dead in Christ will rise first. So, with that being said, there's your answer. You understand? But the thing is, this is how I tell people now. And let me tell you something. Don't take this and run with it if you don't understand what I'm trying to say. God is Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end. He knows all things. He's seen all things. He's witnessed all things. You see. So in Christ's eyes, if you die, you may be with him already. Who knows when you die, time might just speed forward for you, but I don't know that. But that's the only concept I can give you in regards to being with Christ right then. Because I don't know if you know how long you've been sleeping once you go. I don't know if once you put to rest, you dream. I don't know. Because it's never been talked about. That you dream while you're resting, waiting for the return of Christ. Just take it like this. Somebody who's been in a coma and they wake up. They don't realize how long they was in the coma. They just know they're up now. So for somebody to die, I understand what they're saying. When they wake up, they're going to be with Christ. But the truth of the matter is, and from a human being perspective, I'm still alive, so they could have not risen yet. Because I'm still here. And I haven't seen the resurrection So that's the way you got to look at it. So take that and run with it. Yet still, we can't say who's there and who's not there. That's according to scripture. But as I was saying, people got the work of a Christian and ministry wrong. You know, I hear about these people that, the missionaries that go overseas. You know what they do? They give up all this worldly junk. Video games, television, this, and go to a third world country. Hats off to these people. Go to a third world country where they got to go back to living in the old days. Gathering water from the river. Doing this, doing that, assisting people. Giving up the world to do it. I don't know if I'm called to do that. Maybe. Who knows? But hats off to them. Hats off to them. It was a story years ago. Story about last year. Some missionaries came to my church. They was in Tanzania. And they had a visitation with an angel, just like like Peter did. They just knew it. It was an angel. They was in the road in the middle of nowhere, stranded. Truck broke down. The angel come. Somebody's coming, and they're going to help you. They're going to put you on your way. They stay right here. Everything's going to work out fine. And this man was on a horse. So it wasn't too long, shortly after, a vehicle came and helped them get on their way. He was on a horse. They were in a vehicle. And when they got there, the man that sent them there was already there. And they said it wasn't enough time frame for him to get there at the same time as they did by horseback. They knew it was an angel. You just know, as a Christian, as a follower of Christ. They said their faith was strengthened so much from that day forward that they knew God had his angels around. He does. You just got to listen to them. But that doesn't mean people think because you're a Christian, the vehicle would have never broke down. Maybe the vehicle broke down so you can realize his purpose. Why certain things happen to show God's power. Right? If you read Jeremiah or you read Lamentations, where he was talking about the people backsliding. And he was talking about how whom God shows mercy for, he shows mercy, and whom he hardens. God hardened Pharaoh's heart to show his power. But the thing is, Pharaoh was already evil. He was already at the point of no return. And he was going to pay for all the things that he done to God's children. And God made sure of it. You're not getting a clean slate because I know your heart ain't never going to change to worship me anyway. So guess what? I'm just going to harden your heart even more to make sure you see my power. And I'm going to deliver my children right in your face so you'll know it was me that did it. And that's the same way with some of your enemies. God's going to make them harden towards you. Just so God can deliver you right in their face. So he can bless you right in the presence of your enemies. So don't be sad or upset when you go through trials and tribulations in this world. Just know God has set a point of time for you to go through certain things. Go back to Job. I don't even need to explain that story. That's how your life gonna be. Things gonna happen in your life to show God's power. Peter had to go to jail to get delivered out of there. You know how many people that have been to jail in this world and come out giving glory and honor to God? Jail and changed their lives. You know, it's a lot of people in this world. They be praying for their children that are lost in the streets and lost doing Lord knows whatever, living a riotous life, living evil. And they pray for them, and they pray for them, and they pray for them. And then God sits them down in jail. And you know, a lot of parents mess it up. Because guess what happens? That child that's behind bars call and make all these promises to their parents. Get me out right now. I ain't learned a lesson. Within a week's time, they out of jail. Back on the streets doing the exact same thing. And then the parent back praying again. And then God sent them back to jail. And they back getting them out again. Sometimes you got to wait till the Lord gets them out. Who bonded Peter out? I understand getting them out one time. But if they keep going back, you might want to let the Lord do what he does. Let the Lord do what he does best. I done seen so many people get out in jail and do the exact same thing over and over again. And their parents keep getting them out over and over again. And not knowing that God might have sent them there to deliver them. Peter, anyone? Yes, Peter was not an evildoer, but the same concept arises. Sometimes God had people go through things to lead them to him. You just got to look at it that way. God doesn't see how man sees. But I'm telling you straight up, I've seen it too many times before. I had a co-worker that worked with me. And I'm going to say his name and everything. His name was Tyrone Williams. And he was running from the law. Not necessarily running. He just knew they was looking for him. But he was working, making a living. And I was like, man, one day you're going to have to do what's right. You're going to have to, I know you're tired of running. But just so happened he got in trouble one day and went to jail. And my boss, I have a great boss. Glory be to God. Tyrone was in jail for a few weeks. He paid and got all this paperwork in order. Got everything in order for this man. He was back. He wasn't on papers anymore. He still had to sign in and check in, but he had a clean slate. And upon getting out of jail, God told me to call him and give him one message. Be careful of these women. Leave these women alone. That's the message he told me to send them. Years, about a month passed by. Next thing you know, we get a call from the police, probation officer. Where's Tyrone? When the last time you seen him? He has shot a woman. This is real. This is real. This happened. I'm telling you this for a reason. He has shot a woman and he is on the run. So probably about a week or two ago, I was talking to someone and I was like, yeah, you know, Tyrone, he's on the run, you know. The next day they come to work. Guess who's on the news for being on the run? Tyrone Williams. The next day. Following week, they found him. Now he's in jail. You see, God is very merciful. God gives people chance after chance to do what's right. And take heed to what people tell you. Don't judge. You might want to start warning people. You know, I don't feel bad because I told them what the Lord told me to tell them. You understand? I feel bad if I didn't. But he's merciful. He got him out. He delivered him from probation, being on the run. And he gave him one warning. And I'm not the only one that told him the exact same thing. Just focus on you right now. Now he's in. And now he's probably going to have to sit there for a while. Maybe to protect him. Glory be to God that the woman did not die whom he shot. Because I done heard stories recently about a woman dying, being shot by her boyfriend, and didn't make it. You know, God is so merciful. And God is so much loving, and God gives us warning upon warnings and chances upon chances to see and call upon him. That's why I say we need protection from evil. That doesn't mean things may not come. But the devil's always trying to lie, steal, and destroy. He's always trying to destroy somebody's life through this or through that. The only way your life cannot be destroyed, even in death, if you live for Christ. You understand, people? It's time to wake up. This world we live in, we are designed to be a friend to many, but we are not designed to be friends of the world. That's why we got to be careful, because there's more people in the worldly sense against us. But in the spiritual sense, there are more people with us than against us. Do you understand? God has troops and troops and troops at our beck and call if we call upon him. But far as this world, you will have tribulation. But be of good courage. I have overcome the world, says the Lord. And you will overcome the world too. I think all of Christ's disciples died at the hands of the enemy. But they live for Christ. So to live for Christ and die in Christ, you will live with him again upon the resurrection. But if you don't, you won't live with him again upon the resurrection. You will be outside the gates where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Choose now, today, whom you may serve. Like I said, you need protection from the enemy. And the only person that can give you that protection is the Lord. Have a blessed day. If you haven't given your life over to Christ today and now is the time to do so. So, do it. Because it can be too late. I don't like to tell people, you got time. It can be too late for a believer or for somebody to give their life to Christ. You understand? But it's never over. I had a cousin that was in jail for over 20-something years. And he said he prayed and he prayed. Why is it? He was in there for murder. And he prayed that God would deliver him out of prison and get him out of this place. He said, if you get me out of this place, I will spread your word, I will minister to your children. God got him out of jail. And I talked to him shortly after that, while he'd been out. He was like, I made a promise to the Lord that I would minister to his people. And he said, I don't feel I held true to that promise. He said, it's better to obey than to sacrifice. And he said, promises to the Lord are binding. I pray that the Lord set him on his path, because God is looking down and God is holding him accountable for the prayer. I got you out. Hold up to your end of the bargain. Same way with Solomon. Hey, live for me, and I'll answer your prayers exactly how you lined them up after you built my temple. But don't go a-whoring after strange women and let them turn your hearts to worshiping other gods. He didn't take heed. The kingdom was snatched out of his son's hand. Sometimes the curse does not fall upon you. It falls upon your children. And your children. So you may get away with not doing what the Lord wants you to do in this life. But towards the end of Solomon's life, he told him where he messed up. And the thing is, they never said if Solomon got back right with the Lord. But he said, I'm going to pass this down to your child, and I'm going to snatch the kingdom out of your hand. Because you made a promise to me. You told me that you're going to serve me. And you served other gods. And I'm not going to take the kingdom from you. I'm going to take it from your son, because of what you have done to me. You see, Lord, people, the fear of the Lord is beginning understanding. You don't want to upset him. I don't want to upset him. Yes, his mercy endure forever to those that love him. But when your heart starts loving something more than him, as you can see, it changes things for you. And the thing is, the New Testament says, in the last days I will give them over to the imagination of their own heart. Heart love. Every time we say heart, we use a heart for symbolic of love. So the imagination of things you love inside your heart that are not of God. And He's going to let you. Pray that you enter not into temptation. Do you understand? So your heart stay fixed on the Lord. Have a blessed day.